It's a crush of broken hopes, the suffocating heat not making their wait any easier. On the second day of a Greek police operation to move refugees into the new camp on the island of Lesbos, we saw them rounding up hundreds of people in various areas, making them wait before joining the long queues.
The situation is bad. We're unfortunately affected by problems created by others. For example, the Afghans. They do awful things, but we're put in the same basket. There's no justice. Now the police came to our tents and kick us out. What can we do?
As the day went on, this road, once packed with refugees and migrants, almost empty. Some tried to argue, but there is no point. The last few finally making their way to the new camp. They'd prefer to sleep on the streets rather than move into the new facility. Aid agencies are concerned.
There's problems with the conditions, especially today, where the camp is not ready for the people, the 10,000, 12,000 that are going to be taken to it. What is it for? Are we talking about second Moria with people piling up in terrible conditions, or are we talking about a reception camp for transit of the population on their way to other places? But we're extremely worried that in fact it's just a containment policy that's going to be maintained, that is just going to keep people there for months on end or even years, and in conditions that are going to be practically worse than in Moria.
Usually this would be an ideal location, nestled on the shores of a Greek island. But these tents are a symbol of broken policies, of delayed bureaucracy, as well as broken spirits and lives on hold.
And Stefanie joins us now live from Lesbos. Stefanie, with coronavirus cases on the rise among refugees there, just how concerned are people for their safety?
I think people, first and foremost, a lot of people actually didn't believe about the coronavirus that we spoke to, and we were trying to convince them that it was a legitimate concern and not just an excuse to lock them up in the camp. They were more concerned about actually moving to this camp. I'll just step out of shot to give you an idea of the scale of it. Most of the people, around 9,000 people, are now in this facility. You can see it's a very windy day. It's a camp that's very much open to the elements, so this is also a concern, certainly when winter comes. But at the moment, most of them, due to that police operation, have now entered the camp. The authorities have said that this is the only way that this can be organized, that their safety can be provided for, and particularly that their paperwork and asylum processes will be resumed. Now, as of this morning, we checked with the authorities here, and we did see refugees and migrants walking along the road outside the camp to one of the main supermarkets here. We're told that they can actually leave the camp. This was a major concern, whether they'd be locked up and not be able to leave, to go to the supermarket until 8 p.m. and come back. I think it remains a very fluid situation, Adrian. We're going to have to wait and see how the next few days pan out, and also, I think, importantly, to see how this camp copes with so many people. As you were hearing in our report there, people are concerned about the toilet facilities. We've seen pictures where it already looks pretty dire.
Yes, it's a new camp. So is it ready? Is it complete? Is it ready to take so many people?
Well, you heard from the Greek head of MSF, Doctors Without Borders, yesterday. He was concerned that it wasn't ready, and we've been watching construction vehicles come and go. You can still probably see them working. It's probably a little bit too far to catch on camera, but it's still being expanded. Yesterday, only 2 big containers of water arrived. I've been in touch with some of the refugees who've entered the camp that we met beforehand, who say that electricity is an issue, water is an issue, the toilets are dirty. I think it's going to take some time to get up and running properly. Yes, there are various NGOs in there as well helping the Greek authorities, but such a large influx, Adrian, I think at a time when they wanted, basically there was a lot of pressure also from the local population, because you had thousands of refugees and migrants sleeping on the streets, cutting really an artery of the main road that runs across the island, and they'd already been there for around 10 days. So it was a race against time to create what's called, this is an emergency camp. However, that's the question. You heard there as well the question of how long are they going to stay here? Is this a temporary transit camp? In which case, some of the NGOs we've been speaking to will say, okay, it can be improved, but okay. But if this is going to be a long-term facility like Moria, where people have been waiting for over a year for their paperwork to be processed, this is going to be an issue. In fact, some people telling us that they believe this is going to be even worse than Moria because there is no shade. As you can see, it's open to the sea. Whitecaps today, it's gusting over 25 knots, Adrian. When the winter comes, when the rain comes, I think this is going to be very difficult to see how it can be sustained in the long term. But again, everything is new at this point in time. So those are questions that are being asked. And I think certainly in the immediate future, we're going to have to wait and see how this camp deals with the people and how it's going to be run in the next couple of weeks.
Al Jazeera's Stefanie Dekker reporting live there from Lesbos. Many thanks indeed, Stefanie.